So the good thing about the internet is it never sleeps and it never forgets. Now, I want to remind you about a time when Elon Musk said this about Kamala Harris, and that was before Donald Trump won the election. And a lot of people thought that he was saying the truth because they really valued honesty and they really valued the truth. Now, let me play this clip of Elon Musk before the Trump administration won the elections, and I want you to judge what he said. So this is what he said, and I'm going to play the clip. So as we wait for the clip to play, I want you to judge. This is what they had to tell us back then. And this is what they
protesters in prison and not one person on the Epstein client list.
Will that ever come out?
I want to start it. Let us start it at this point.
You know, I think part of why protesters in prison and not one person on the Epstein client list.
Will that ever come out, do you think?
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
At this point is where I want you to listen.
Getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
Yeah, this one. I'm going to play it until all of you listen. And now, I'm going to play it until all of you listen to it and know what he was talking about back then before they won the election. And I want you to judge. So this is what he had to say. Listen very carefully. Listen.
If Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
And I only ask that because you just look at them and you're like, that's a nervous person.
Protesters.
Now, at that point, he said that some of those billionaires are terrified. And he just forgot to name the billionaires who could be terrified with the information. So he forgot to name the Trump and the Trump administration. Because I wonder so much why the Trump administration is fighting so much to make sure that the list does not go out there to the public. Now, I'm not judging anyone. I don't know if Trump is there. But it is news that has been circulating online and a lot of people have been seeing the news. So what just happened at this point? Now, guys, listen. There has been an issue where a lot of people are fighting so that the Epstein files may come out. Now, who was Epstein? Epstein was someone who used to use small girls as for entertainment. Now, he could organize big parties, big shower parties, and he could let these girls be mishandled by those people with money. Now, at that point, now we come to this information right about now at this point. Listen, guys, I don't want to take you so fast. I want you to read slowly by slowly. Now, Lucas Sanders said here, remember, Elon Musk was right about dirty Donald Trump being in the Epstein files. Agreed? Now, this was, this is why I'm telling you this. The internet never forgets, and the internet never gives you a break to sleep. This post was deleted by Elon Musk at that time. And he thought, okay, maybe I'm the only one who was the post. But he forgot that a lot of people had screenshotted the post. And this is what Elon Musk said. Time to drop the really big bomb. I think a real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald Trump Jr. Now, and Elon Musk added 13 minutes later, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Now, this is what happened. The files have been circulating around, and a lot of people have been wishing to see what is contained in the files, but they haven't gotten the chance to see what is in the files. So I'm going to read you the different news from the different outlets which have had the chance to talk about the information. Now, what did Trump do after the public forced him to do it? Because listen, the House committee has been voting whether the Epstein files should be released or they shouldn't be released. And we are still waiting for the vote to be taken before we know if the files will be released or they will not be released. But due to the mounting pressure and what has been happening around, this is what has happened. Trump calls for probe into Bill Clinton's and Epstein links. As questions continue to mount over Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, the U.S. president has ordered a probe into the former president Bill Clinton's alleged ties to the late sex trafficker. So, what happened. US President Donald Trump has ordered law enforcement to investigate links between disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein and former President Bill Clinton as he looks to deflect attention from his own ties. Now, as he looks to deflect attention from his own ties to the alleged sex trafficker, Trump said on the Truth Social platform he will be asking Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI, which I don't really think even the FBI is working, because before Kash Patel got into office, he sang, and it was his daily songs on the podcast, whether it was on the Tim Pool podcast or any other podcast out there. And he would say, the first thing I get in the office, I make sure that I release those files. The same to Dan Bongino. Now, they got into office. It has been almost a year plus. But what do we find? Just excuses. And in fact, they come up with an issue saying, this all was a made-up story and we have reviewed the files and we don't think it is so catastrophic as a lot of people are saying it out there. Now, guys, this is one of those moments that you have to look and you have to listen and you have to say, okay, is it true as what they're saying or is it wrong? Now, Donald Trump said on his social platform that he will be asking Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton. He also name-checked Clinton's former Treasury Secretary, Larry Summers, LinkedIn founder Reid Hoffman, banking giant JP Morgan Chase, and many other people and institutions. Trump claimed records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Now, what are the alleged links to Jeffrey Epstein? Former Democratic President Bill Clinton has faced scrutiny over his ties to Epstein and flew on his private plane. But he was never accused of any wrongdoing in the scandal. Epstein himself said that Clinton had never ever been to his notorious private Caribbean island, according to emails viewed by the AFP news agency. The emails prove Clinton did not and knew nothing, said the Clinton spokesperson. Now, I look at that, and now I have to refer this information with this information right here, which says that Donald Trump's name has been mentioned several times in the Epstein files. How many times has it been mentioned? So guys, I want to tell you how many times. The mocking and accusatory voices of Jeffrey Epstein emerged from a trove of more than 20,000 emails made public by lawmakers on Wednesday. And this is what the files had to say. So guys, I want to read you, and you will know how many times the names were mentioned. The mocking and accusatory voices of Jeffrey Epstein emerged from a trove of many than 20,000 emails made public by lawmakers on Wednesday, including his claim that President Trump once spent hours at my house with a young woman who later accused Mr. Epstein of sexually abusing and trafficking her when she was a teenager. In a series of emails with friends and associates, surfacing first in a few messages selected by the House Democrats and then in full by Republicans on the House Oversight Committee, Mr. Epstein described Mr. Trump as a dirty businessman who was borderline insane, untrustworthy, and was in real life and up close than image he sought to portray in the public. Now guys, this is what has happened. This is what has been released. So I really wondered when they said that Donald Trump has ordered the DOJ to go against the Clintons, to go against JP Morgan Chase, while he himself has been mentioned not once, not twice, but a lot of times in the Epstein files. Why are they fighting? Now I really come to understand why the administration was fighting so hard to make sure that these files do not come out to the public, because if the president has been mentioned all these times in those files, and I'm not saying that he has done any wrongdoing because they're still investigating, and this is what happened the other day also. I'm going to read you a lot of news today because I want you to know the truth, and I want you to know what really is going around and what really is happening in the corridors of power concerning Epstein and concerning all those people who took part in the Epstein files, because this is not an easy thing to handle, and it is something that has been happening all over and over again. Now, a lot of girls have committed suicide, and I want to say sorry to them because they really didn't know what was going on, and it is until it had happened that they really know. Now, what has happened? It has been an eventful 2 days after a new crop of documents from Jeffrey Epstein estate were revealed to contain several messages referencing US President Donald Trump. Now, in summary, this is what happened. The late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein said about Donald Trump in 2018, I am the one able to take him down in the released document show. The private messages are part of more than 20,000 files obtained from the disgraced financial estate and released by the US lawmakers yesterday, including several that mentioned in the US president and other prominent figures. The White House, at this point, the White House has dismissed the significance of these files, with Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson telling the BBC these emails prove literally nothing. Now, Trump and Epstein knew each other for years in the Palm Beach, Florida, but the president has said they fell out 2 years before Epstein was first arrested. Trump was consistently denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. Now, the other documents in the files include a 2011 message which appeared to confirm that Andrew Montenberg Windsor was photographed with Virginia Gaffer. The House of Representatives is set to vote next week on forcing the Justice Department to release more files related to the investigation into the Epstein. Now, guys, I don't think if it will happen, it has never happened, because in all these years, if we had presidents who had the goodwill to do release the files to the public, it could have been done. But I think this is just something difficult, and it is a long hidden secret that even not anyone, not 2 people, not 3 people, not 4 people, until it gets one person who has the goodwill to release them, who has the goodwill for the public to know what really transpired with the Epsteins, then we shall know. But when we have people who give someone like Ghislaine Maxwell a move from a tough prison to a soft prison, then I don't think we shall ever find the truth. I don't know what your comments are. I don't know what you think. But if you have anything to say, please let me know in the comment section. And before you log out, make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. And bye-bye. 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 Take care and stay.